Hello, good morning everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is well. Right, today I'm going to be switching on the electrical panel and hopefully, fingers crossed, touch a bit of wood, that it should all run smoothly. So, see you out there. Right, I'm out of the van. I've just put a 80 amp fuse in the fuse holder. Got a 40 amp fuse in the trickle charger. That's on a 6mm. I will tidy all this up. I'll fix all this in later. I just want to make sure everything's connected properly at the back. Right, so let's go to the back. Well, actually, before I go to the back, I put on another solar panel yesterday and did all the connections, and I forgot to film. But let me show you. Oh. So I'm not too sure if you saw that or not, but what I did yesterday, I put on the third solar panel, and I did the connection in a small little box. Hopefully you might have seen that. Let me turn you around. With right, here we go, that way. Oh yeah, so that's the box I put on, and that's the other solar panel, and I've put all the sticky pads and cable tied them to the roof, so it's all neat and tidy. Not like the inside of the van, but, so I run it down in there, put loads of Sikaflex in there, run it down down there in flexible conduit and straight down to the control panel, which I'm going to be going to right now. Right, back in the garage. A bit uncomfortable, but I'm not sat down properly yet. Right, I just want to show you the other side where I brought the cables in yesterday for the solar panels. So they're just coming down, so they'll be going into the back. I will drill a hole around about here somewhere, and the cables will go into the isolator switch. It does say in the instructions not to switch that on until you've actually powered the system up. So the solar charge panel or controller will detect the leisure batteries. So it just needs to go through all the rigmarole of everything first before you actually do that. Everything else is fine. It's just the solar panels. Right, so see you in a minute. You have to forgive me with the camera. For some reason, it sort of like tilts up, so I keep going around and around and around. God knows what that is. I am doing it from my phone, so. But I don't know if you guys find the microphone better. It's a new one, so fingers crossed you'll be able to hear me better. So what you've got to remember is, I think I mentioned in the last, or one of the last videos, is the panels will bring the cables down. You need to identify them as positive and negative, because once you've brought them all the way down through and around where you need to place the cables, if you don't identify them, you're going to lose track and you're not going to know which one's which. So it does recommend to identify them, so when you get down to wiring into the isolating switch, it's easy. So what I've done, I've wired it into the isolator for the solar panels and coming out and going into the charge controller, but I've left it off for now because, like I said, the charge controller needs to detect, or the battery needs to detect the charge controller one way or the other. It needs to connect and check, and once, I think it's about 10 seconds they say, then switch it off and switch it back on again, then you'll be able to switch the solar array on. Right, so I'm just going to do a final check, and we'll blow the van up. Right, moment of truth. Right, what I've just done, I had to use the old resistor, because they say when you connect the neutral up, you need a resistor, because it could spark for when the inverter has its first initial start up. So you wire that to the terminal of the battery and then to the negative cable, and you switch it on. You keep it on for 10 seconds, then you can switch it off, then you can wire it then straight to the battery. So, right, switch it on, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, we have lights. Right, so far so good. All you've got to do now, just got to go through the instructions on the settings on the app and that. Then I think there's a couple of switches on the inverter that I need to do as well. So like trip switches just to set the battery, because I've got a lithium battery. There's different settings on the inverter you need to do. And I think what it is, you've got 3 dip switches. They've got to all be off to start off with. Then number 2's got to be switched on. Then number 3, you've got to switch that on, then off. Then that saves the settings. Right, well that was a right palaver putting those or doing those dip switches. Right, where I've located the inverter on the board when I did it inside, I didn't even think about leaving myself enough space to work from. So I was working down, I was led on the floor looking up, and it was a right nightmare. So I do suggest, if anyone else is doing an install like this, make sure you've got plenty of room to see what you're doing as well as to work on. But I managed to do it, so I'm not going to move it unless something drastic goes wrong with it. All is working all right. So at the moment the engine's not running, so there's no power going into the DC charger. Solar panels are working, and that's on. And I've got the app at the moment there. So at the moment the solar panels are drawing 45 watts, so 46 50 volts and 9 amps, 0.9 amps, sorry, and it's feeding it into the battery. So yeah, it's all pretty much easy to understand. Yeah, so that is it up and running. So as soon as you switch the inverter to on, it comes on. Then that feeds 230 then to the fuse box or consumer unit to give you the 230 that you need or require inside the van. That'd be shore power, so that'd be connected on the campsite. So then that'll feed you the 230 volts. Then you put the inverter on charger mode. Then once you get in power from the campsite, you'll be able to use that 230 volt, but that also will charge up the inverter as well and the battery. So yeah, it's all complex, it's all good, but I'm well happy with everything. So the next stage for me to do, I think, will be just run some cabling through into the van for sockets, which I'm just going to do temporarily, put some sockets in, but get some glands and some back boxes and sockets, so we can use things in the back, in the front, wherever in the van. Also going to put a couple of sockets inside the back of the garage as well, and so one for to use on the inverter and one for using on shore power. So if there's anything I want to do outside the van at the back, I can do. I've got power at the back. Yeah, so then it's just run a 12 volt supply for lighting, etc. I've ordered myself a fridge as well, but that came damaged, so I want to take that back and get a new one. Fingers crossed that'll happen soon. But anyway, guys, I think that is it for today. So I'll see you on the next video. All right, take care. Bye for now.